Good evening, everyone. I'm Neha, Ambassador of Change for GETI, that is Global Education and Training Institute, founded and conceptualized by Dr. Sunita Gandhi with the vision of disrupting the education movement. And to do that, to enhance that, we also organize pre service and in service training for teachers so that they can spearhead this disruptive education movement. And under the same umbrella, we also organize detox where we invite educators, researchers, policymakers, and various people from the education fraternity to discuss various best practices with us. And today I am very honored and thrilled to have with us, all the way from Karnataka, Dr. C. Greason, who is the Vice President at SMS Laboratory, Karnataka, and the founder and CEO of Indus Academy Services School and College. A very warm welcome to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. So I can't hear you. Are you on mute?
Good evening. Good evening to all. And I am Dr. Girishan. And for the last 40 years, I am in the field of technical science, laboratory education, and giving various lectures. So it has been honored. I've been honored to have in the panel of disruptive talks and then give you a talk on the education. The main interest of mine is that during my I also have a guest lecturer at various universities. So during the talk, I found out that majority of the students do not have the actual vocational training or a sort of a professional approach. Say, for example, in our laboratory, we need an analyst to be taken who does already the analysis, chemical analysis, or microbiological enumeration. See, what happens is that they know the theory, but coming into the laboratory or practicals, they don't have the awareness. Also, there are in food safety management system, there is global, it is changing. Good safety management is changing, or many things is changing. So those changes, those updated changes, the students are not aware. The academy will teach them what is the principles or what is the theory, but actually coming into the practical and updation as per global guidelines and all that, it is not there. So with that purpose, I am entering into school, college, and industrial education. I have started this Indus Academy Services. Then the question is that why the Indus name has come. Okay, the Indus is.
Do you want me to add your presentation now?
Yeah, please. Yeah, you can start.
So it's on the screen.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Indus Academy. So Indus Academy, our roots are in our roots are in our ancient tradition. So now coming into school education and college education, see, my topic today is music and dance as pedagogical tools, pearls of wisdom rediscovered. Can I ask translator? How can I change it? Hello, can I have second slide, please?
Sir, you can use go to the second slide by yourself only. You have the presentation in front of you.
Oh, I can change. Presentation. No, sorry.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. This is see why I use this why I have used the pearl allegory, or why it is the topic is the wisdom of. Topic is pearls of wisdom rediscovered. So what is in the pearls of wisdom rediscovered? Why it is pearls? See, it is a music. The teachers are playing the music, and the student will be able to enter into the world of science or into the world of the learning through the musical tools. And why? First of all, what is a pearl allegory? Why the pearl is there being used is. See, there are two reasons. See, the first reason is that, the pearl, it is difficult to extract and make it into a beautiful pearl from the oyster. So that is a teacher or education system should do it. It should identify the pearl inside the oyster and make it shining and vibrant and ready for the ready to the world as a shining pearl. So that is what a teacher should do, or a education system should do. That is why one is a one, it is called rediscovered pearls. Okay. The second thing is that there is a book called Leela. Okay, that is about a scientist, and that the Bhaskaracharya has written a mathematical treatise, of course, on music, because music and maths are inseparable. So what happened is that I'll come with a story, please. So Leelavadi, the daughter, Leelavadi, the daughter of Bhaskaracharya, she found out that her marriage in problem, because in the astrology, unless she will marry in an auspicious moment. So what happened is that he devised a water clock which will give the exact time or of the auspicious moment. But unfortunately, the curious Leelavadi just looked into the pot, and one of her jewelry or one of the pearl went into the dropped inside the pot and upset the timing of the water clock. So she could not marry on the same time. So now why I have used this pearl, this one is, after that Bhaskaracharya, that she was completely depressed. At that time, Bhaskaracharya wrote a complete musical treatise on different mathematics and different questions asked in the form of questions. So Leelavadi was interested in answering those questions and become one of the famous mathematician. That is about that. The next is, see, I will be covering, these are the topics. Why pedagogy needs to be changed. It's already teaching is going on. Why there is a change is needed. Second, who should be the teacher? Third, who should be the student? Or how should be the student? That's the just a brief about the method and multiple intelligence theory, and dance and music pedagogy status, how it is being used today, whether it is a pipe dream or whether it is actually being used in the academies. And then next is, what are the challenges of introducing dance and music in pedagogy. And the one more point is the Indian government initiative on pedagogy. And of course, Indus Academy, a little bit about Indus Academy. Okay, now the main why it is needed. That is the now why pedagogy is need to be changed. See, there is a concept that there is a right brain, there is a left brain. Okay, the left brain is regarding logic, sequencing, linear thinking, mathematics, facts, thinking in words. While the right brain is on imagination, holistic thinking, intuition, arts, rhythm, etc. So unless the students, or the students even at any level, unless they can put both left and right together, they cannot march forward. Currently, the education system, see, actually it should be a disruptive education system, because they have the focus only for the left brain, who is in the logic, sequencing, or maybe mathematics, or the or who can who is sitting and seeing out of the window and dreaming or imagining or thinking, he will be out in no time from the classroom. So there was a focus on this left brain, logical, verbal, digital person coming up, while art, picture, music, and colors, that person going out. Okay, so that needs to be changed. That is one of the major this one. The second thing is that now, but whether this is a new concept or whether it is an old concept, it is an old concept. Even Aristotle and Plato, whether it is a Western or whether it is a Eastern, all the ancient people, ancient cultures believed, ancient peoples, the people, they believed that the education should not be a classroom alone. It should be having, see, Aristotle and Plato believed that education system should be stressed on gymnastic, gymnastics and dance to discipline the body, and music to discipline the mind could create the right kind of person. They thought, and still that is still has to be implemented, that gymnastics or dance or kinesthetic movements has to be included in the education, unless it is not complete. Now there is something called a golden ratio. Whoever is a mathematician or whoever knows Fibonacci numbers, they know that what is it. See, there is a golden ratio, a universal ratio, which is present in the human body, the nature, the plants, living beings, and then everywhere. It is the rhythm of the universe. Also, it is the rhythm of the music. Okay, so even the Lady Gaga, she has in the latest album the latest album Perfect Illusion. She put this theory into practice. Also, any instrument, musical instrument, whether it is piano, whether it is violin, this is being applied not only in the structure of the instrument, but also in the music tones and music rhythms. So another thing, yeah, this is the one of the important this one. If you ask any teacher, any student, see what is your concept of a teacher. So usually the student will come up with somebody who is completely disciplined, coming up with a stick, and then go, okay, if you don't do the homeworks, or you don't do whatever they say, so the discipline is one of the thing, and with it will be strictly implemented. But what our ancient culture says, says that, see, the goddesses of education is carrying a veena and dancing. Think about that. See, there is an art brush in her hand. See, think about that. See, art brush in the sense that she is the symbol of dance, music, and art. So how she has been, she has been considered as a symbol of education. That itself shows the importance of dance and music in the pedagogy, which is needed to be implemented. See, after introducing this dance and music, maybe the students' concept will completely change, because that is one of the important aspect is the student, if he is or she is going with fear to the school, that there will be discipline, there will be some punishment, or there will be there will be always his or her mind will not open up. There will be something blocking her or his mind to the concept of education or new coming of the education. So that is to be changed. When he should enter into a school, he should be thinking, or she should be thinking that, yeah, this is a place where my mind will be relaxed, my mind will be, see, looking for some changes, some sort of some entertainment. But unless he thinks that, no, this is of the school I go will be full of different mathematical educations, say chemistry calculations, or maybe physics or economics or all this thing, and if I won't follow this, there will be somebody strictly implementing this. So that will block some of his brain completely. So he cannot get, unless you are in a full kind of emotion or full kind of brain capacity, the learning will be entirely in the different atmosphere. That is why the concept of a teacher or the pedagogy needs to be changed. Okay, now the next point is the dance. Another god in Hindu god of education is Dakshinamurti. Dakshinamurti is nothing but the Nataraja or Shiva. And Nataraja has been found the global acceptance when the statue has been put in CERN, or where they find the God's particle. Okay, I'll just read a little bit in this. See, the whole world is made up of atoms or subatomic particles, and these subatomic particles, still there is a debate whether it is in a matter or whether it is in the energy form. So in the book of the Tao of Physics, it is written that every subatomic particle not only performs energy dance, but also is an energy dance, a pulsating process of creation and destruction. See, the whole world is in a movement. It is not at a state of rest. That is why the dance needs to be there for understanding the universe. It's because it is in the form of a dynamic equilibrium. Everything moves, and the equilibrium is because of this dynamism, or because of the movement. It is a complete movement. There is nothing static. Okay, so the modern physics pictures matter not as a passive and inert, but as continuously dance and vibrating. And of course, Nataraja or the Dakshinamurti is a symbol. So our ancient people understood that to understand the education, you should be in a movement, or you should be in a rhythmatic movement, a dance or a music. So there is no way to going with see something else. There should be movement. There should be dance. There should be dance. There should be something symbolizing that all the everything, every atom nucleus, every subatomic particles, everything is in motion, always in motion. Not only in the particle is in motion, it is a motion itself. So it is a moment. It is a dance. It is a universal dance. So to understand that universal dance, you should be in the same form. So it is easy to accept. So that is why the importance of music and dance in the pedagogy. So here I will find again, I will tell that this educational goddesses Saraswati carrying a veena, or the goddesses of education is Nataraja or Dakshinamurti, is not a coincidence. It is the symbol of how the pedagogy should be, what is the importance of music and dance. Okay. Now the next one is that, see, usually you will find that, maybe 20% of the children in the education or in the class coming up, and another 40% maybe almost average, and maybe 10% maybe not at all performing. So current education system, what it does that, of course, these are all based upon only logics, mathematics, science, or maybe some technical thing. It is so there and the art or painting or any music or dance will come to them only maybe once or twice in a year in the form of some festivals or some sort of a thing, but they are completely ignored. Okay. And then finally, you will find out that only 20% are the toppers, and 20% of the whole population is getting somewhat go into the next level. Why it is so? See, if that is because of this teaching, current teaching. So if a child can learn the way we teach, maybe we should teach the way they learn. So if it is not their fault, it is that we see the focus on left side of the brain only, not the right side of the brain. We are not taking consideration into their dance or their singing or their other abilities, art related abilities. Okay. Now that is one, and second is that, see, the dance in an educational context, dance offers the children an opportunity to learn by involving the whole body in a kinesthetic exploration, cognitive processing, and aesthetic experimentation and social engagement. See, you will usually find that the young children, after going to 1 or 2 days, they will be highly reluctant to go to the classes. They will say somehow they want to remain at the home. It is because the house or household is more interesting than the class. That should be changed. That should be changed. Then only they can get an education. The student or the learner should not have the blockage that if I go to a teaching place, whether it is a college, whether it is a school, I should be, my mind should be open to receive the information. If I am going to a block with this person, whether he will hit me if I say wrong, then how I can learn anything? So that is the question. That is where the learning by music or dance coming up. Now, what is the importance of dance? Again, next step. Yado hasta tado drishti, yado drishti tado mana. This is in short, it is the movement. See, it is a complete concentration. It is the involvement. It is the involvement of the mind. See, in any dance, whatever you do, the hands move where eyes should go. Means everything is involved, everything is concentrated only on one thing. So once this aspect is drilled into a child, that complete involvement without any blockage of mind, that he should be able to receive from all the senses, he should be able to receive what the teacher tells. Only that is needed. That so it is very easy for the student to understand, rather than the student, instead of understanding, instead of concentrating or focusing on what teacher says, goes to something else, then the involvement is not there. The student cannot learn. So that is why where the dance and music comes. See, the involvement, it teaches the involvement. Yeah. The next question is, the next slide is about Einstein. See, the first, before first, everybody thought that he has been called by his even the housemaid that der Deprett, or the idiot, because he was very slow to learn. He cannot understand anything. But his mother was a maths teacher. She understood the maths, music, and maths and the involvement. So she has compelled Einstein to learn music, not mathematics. Okay. So the what happened? So okay, he was a very much highly interested in maths, highly interested in music, but not in the studies. So finally, what happened? Sorry. The theory of relativity occurred to me by intuition. These are Einstein's words, of course. And music is the driving force behind this intuition. My parents had me study the violin from the time I was 6. My new discovery is the result of musical perception. See, he had the great thoughts of great technical thoughts, but he could not arrange it properly until the music is introduced to him, and the elements of music, as in a geometry or as in a pattern or as in a rhythm, has entered into his mind, and he constructed or reconstructed the theories or the ideas in the mathematical form, in the musical form, in an order he could achieve the greatness. See, though his family was well aware of Einstein's fame, they did not understand why. Now there was a gap. The family could not understand why he is performing so well, because he was performing so bad in the starting, and why he is so performing so well in this one. Because it was music in the pedagogy, or music in the teaching, or music were not pedagogy, where he understood the things from music, by music. So that is the one of the thing I want to point out. And the next is Max Planck. So Max Planck was a similarly gifted, very gifted physicist and musician. So the many Nobel laureates, not only Einstein or Planck. So they constructed their thought process was based on the music, structured and in a rhythmic way. So that is why they could do extremely well, concentrating on his thoughts. That is what we lacking in the decision or in the system today. Okay, the next, how the teacher should be. Okay, the teacher, though it is written in Guru Vandanam or in our ancient traditions. See, Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam. Tomeva Mada cha Pita Tomeva, Tomeva Bandhuscha Sakha Tomeva. Tomeva Vidya to Dravinam Tomeva, Tomeva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. See, the teacher, the student is coming to a school, or maybe you can know the residential school, for example. So he will be away from his basic background. So the teacher was, first of all, how the teacher should be Akhanda Mandalakaram. He should be. It is not that he will be with 1,000 heads, 1,000 hands, and 1,000 heads. He should have all the type of teaching tools with him. Means the students are actually from different cultures, different mindsets, and different backgrounds. So how they can understand, the teacher should understand it first, and the teacher should tell them in the same form. Teacher should educate them in the same approach how the student should be approaching as the education system. So that is why he should be say representing maybe 1,000 heads or more than that heads, because that much approaches he should put into teaching the students. Also, you can see that these are all weapons or something in the hand. It is not actually weapons. It is different tools to use. How the education can be drilled into the students. How the education can be given, provided to the students. So, and he should be knowing, see, there is a huge expectation for teachers. See, he should be not only Akhanda Mandalagara means not that he should be a gigantic giant. What he should be having the knowledge of everything, whether it is moving or movable or immovable, he should be knowing everything about the surroundings, not only a subject. There is a lot of things connected with the subjects, and the students, of course, asking a lot of things other than the subjects, because everybody seeing an education or an idea in different forms. So he should be the complete guru should be the complete. He should be a universe. Guru madhye sthidam vishwam, vishwamadhye sthido guru. That means it is like a sort of a Milky Way galaxy. We are in the galaxy, but still we can see the galaxy. Okay, so like we can understand the galaxy and we can talk about the galaxy even though we are inside the galaxy. So the galaxy is inside us, inside the teacher, and teacher should be understanding everything in the universe. There is no field that a teacher should not understand, should not enter into, because he has to give or provide the maximum education to the student. So student will be asking whatever it is, the learner will be asking whatever it is, the teacher should be able to explain. Okay, the mastery of the subject matter, understanding the methods of teaching, and understanding the learner. These are the three major aspects they talk about a guru. The thorough grasp of the subject and new updated trends. So there is one of the problem in the current teaching. The new updated trends. There is no way that the new updated trends are being introduced into the system. The system have an education based upon the books or the information that has been formed at that time when it is formed, when it was when it was written, or when the book was written. After that, what are the updation? Maybe after 3 years, 4 years, it may be getting updated. But definitely there is an updation in between. Where it goes, how it goes, the teacher should know it. That is the main thing. Okay, and then also the teacher should understand the methods of teaching, know what to teach, and know how to teach. And general understanding of the other fields of psychology and learning, and to sustain the interest of the individual differences. And also understanding the learner, knowledge on the child, nurture of the child, knowledge on different levels of the intellectual and emotional maturity, genuine concern and sincere love for children. You see, there it comes. Mata Tvameva, he should be the mother. He should be able to understand the motherly affection to the children, fatherly affection to the children, or just like a brother, or just like a. All these affections should come, or should concerns should be see, all this should be reflecting on a teacher, because he is talking to a student not only as a disciplined sort of with one stick, otherwise I'll hit you. There should be compassion, there should be understanding of the learner. Okay, positive outlook in life and good attitude, and a positive outlook in life and good attitude. Okay. See, the generally he should have a pleasing personal appearance, a sense of humor, cheerfulness, enthusiasm. See, good physical health and personal hygiene, superior intelligence. Superior intelligence again come off as left and right brain, no both. So it should not be strictly only on the knowledge of logic and mathematics. It should be of music and dance also. Means music and dance, or how he can add the storytelling or a painting or the architecture, how a building is built. Means what are the principles? How you can find out the geometrical shape in that one. And what is the importance of a dome, or what is the importance of a oval structure? All these things, like flexibility, creativity, resourcefulness. So there is everywhere, whether it is ancient education system or a new education system, the teacher has to play very important role. Okay, his words should be refinement words, tact and courtesy, civility, emotional stability, pleasant modulated voice, sympathy, kindness, fairness, impartiality, sociability. So many all the qualities you require for the intrapersonal or interpersonal skills, all has to be the teacher should have all those things if he is dealing with the diverse sort of characteristics of the student. Now, okay, now I have talked about teacher, so now I will be talking about the students. Okay, so now what about the students? Students also need to be one. The student also have got something to see how is the student should be. So now the I am talking about the students, how the students will be. Okay, so the student should be, yeah, see, there is again the subhashidam, or our ancient tradition says what should be the student. It is kaka cheshta bhagavad dhyanam shwana nidra tathaiva cha alpahari grihatyagi Vidyarthina Panchalakshanam. For a learner, they have put 5 signs what they should do. One is that effort should be similar to a crow, clear focus on the work like a crane, alert even during the sleep, balanced diet or renouncing the house. I'll be detailing it a little bit. See, first one, Kaka Chesta. What is Kaka Chesta? Kaka Chesta means how to acquire a skill. See, you might have heard about the story that there was some water in a pot. Water was so low, water level was so low, so the crow cannot drink it. But the clever crow has done that, put the stones and stones and stones into that pot, and ultimately the water level has come up to the brim, and he can easily drink it. See, it is nothing but applied knowledge. See, you have got a theory, yes, a lot of theories you are learning. So how you learn it, and then how you use it, that is more important. See, nowadays the students learn a lot of science or economics or art or whatever, and ultimately finding their route into some IT sector where they will be doing entirely different thing. So this Kakachesta means during the student at that time itself, he should be knowing the theory, and he should know that where it should be applied and how it should be applied, or he should be having a sort of a skill to develop that type of that type of skill where he should be able to use his learnings on the day-to-day life. That is the Kakachasta. See, like that, he should be during the studies also. He should be able to pick up, able to use the applied technology. And coming into the method, then it will be more clear on that one how what actually that means. Okay, so this is that mainly he should have acquire the skill to apply the knowledge during the study itself. Next is Bhagat Dhyanam. See, you've seen a crane when fishing or sitting standing on the water. It will go into almost not middle of the water, but at least on the 4 sides it will be water, and he will be putting only one leg down and one leg up. So it is as like a one leg of a saint doing a one leg meditation or dhyanam. Now what happens is that, see, the water is everywhere, all the everywhere water is there, and nobody is knowing his presence. The crane is there because they are under the water, only one leg can be seen, nothing else. So now the fishes flow across, and then the crane will be able to take the best fish in that one or which one. Like that, the knowledge is floating around. So what should be the students? What should the student do? The student should be able to find out the knowledge. There should be Google. There should be media. There should be papers. There should be books. So there should be a lot of knowledge floating around. So he should concentrate on what he should learn, and he should be able to pick up. That is Bhagat Dhyan. So he should be able to concentrate and pick up the right knowledge what he actually should have. The next is Shwana Nidra. These are the characteristics of a learner or a student as per our tradition. See, what is Shwana Nidra? See, you see the dogs are our, any dog you put in the night for our watch or security or anywhere anyway. So you will find that even one leaf stirs or something happens, there is a sound. It is always alert. Always it is alert, and even on a small vibration coming in the surroundings. Even somebody without see a thief comes and without making sound, just putting the foot across, there is a vibration. Even at that vibration, it gets up. So it is nothing but Uttishtava Jagrada Prapyavaran Nibodhana. Thurasya Dhara, that much sharp. It should be completely, see, his mind and his intelligence should be so sharp. Senses should be so sharp. Any knowledge going anywhere, he should be able to pick it up and understand and then go for that. So that is what our ancestors are again telling about this. Then another thing is Alpahari. Of course, the educationist, the favorite book is one is called Toto Chan. So in that one, it is actually it is very clear. See, train the headmaster tells to students, train your children to eat everything. Please see that they bring a nutritionally balanced lunch. Alpahari does not mean that you take half of what you take. It of course it does mean that you take the nutritious food. See, something from the ocean, something from the hills. So means something from in this one it is very clearly written. It is a balanced diet. So whatever gives you all the nutritions, and also there should not be more and more of see something carbohydrate or taking more rice or more wheat or nothing. It should be you should see what is a protein, what is a fats, what is a carbohydrate, or what is the nutritions you are taking in, and it should be the minimal. So alpahari. And another thing is grihatyagi. It is a renunciation of the house or renunciation of this thing. See, I'll tell you an interesting story in this one. See, in Arjuna's life, two instances I'll say. One instance where he was surrounded by all the relatives and 101 brothers, or maybe more than 106 brothers, or maybe more than hundreds of brothers, and then relatives, uncles, all these things. So first he when it was teaching. So as a student, the Dronacharya, the guru or teacher, has asked him, what do you see? See, there was a bird. Of course, there was a bird made of I think it made of soil, and then it was it. The skill of the archery is to be tested. So he asked everybody, one by one, everybody, that what you can see. So somebody told that I am seeing whole tree. Somebody is saying that I am seeing all the relatives standing over here, and somebody is saying all the hut, all the village I can see. Or somebody says it is only tree they can see. But Arjuna said that I see only the eye of the bird, nothing else. So there are though even hundred and more than hundreds of his relatives standing across. He has not seen them. So that should be the concentration, because he is actually renounced. His focus is only on education, not on the relatives. But when the other time, when it is come to applying of that one, see, he was in the middle of the war. Everybody, see, there are Kauravas and there are Pandavas behind him, and he is seeing the Kauravas. He is seeing his uncles, his guru, and his 101 brothers. Initially, so what I mean to say is that he is compassionate, he is emotional, But at the time of teaching, he could seek, he did not concentrate on any of that one. He concentrated only what he should do. Here he saw that all the relatives and all that, no, how, why I should kill all these relatives and get something. Okay, some country. So what it is worth. So he is not he is compassionate about them, but at the time of his learning, he could not. He is a grihatyagi. He is not renouncing that all these things. Only his focus is only the eye of the bird. So that is what here I would like to say. The next is the method and multiple intelligence theory. See, method, which is pedagogy. Okay, now the method. In the ancient tradition, the method is called vidhi. What is vidhi? There is somebody entering and there is somebody terminal behavior in the motor. So how the teacher is educating. So earlier it was mainly the knowledge is considered to be, the sciences were not developed, but not for everybody. So the final attainment of life is supposed to be moksha or the liberation. So the teachers, the main focus was to get the student into that level, that spiritual level, or that was a spiritual, or the learnings. The main focus was getting you into the terminal behavior or the vidhi or moksha or the last point. So that the vidhi consists of teaching the student to get a wholesome view of himself, of the universe, and making himself aware into the spiritual as well as the scientific worlds. So, see, the teacher uses the methods to achieve the objects of education, and a method helps the student to move from an entering behavior to terminal behavior. So that is Vidhi. So in this Upanishad, Taittiriya Upanishad, it is talking about the human development is in fivefold. See, five different sort of dimensions. One is physical, and one is emotional and energetical, and one is psychological and cognitive. One is intellectual and discerning, and one is psychospatial, socio-spiritual. This is what actually the multi-intelligence theory also says in a slight different way. So it is there with our ancient tradition, but of course that has been arrived by the Western also. Okay, so that multi-intelligence theory I will be coming after this. Okay, so the development of a person, development of a student, development of any person is because for any kosha, this is for each cell. There should be five different levels of several dimensions. So each dimension has to be developed in parallel. See, somebody is the only physical sports, he is okay, everything is all right, or something is a drama, everything is all right. No, it is not like that. All these five has to be developed equally, parallelly, then only the man will be a perfect person. So that the terminal, the teacher's ability should be to make this in each of the student, all these five is reaching up to the perfection. That is what a teacher should strive at. Now the teaching of process, how the teaching process is being described in our in our Upanishads. So Yajnavalkya is in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is describing it in this way. There were three steps of instruction for any education system. One is Shravana, one is Manana, one is Nididhyasana. See, Shravana is listening to what teacher says. Okay, it is nothing but you just listen. Okay. Second is Manana, the process of deliberation or reflection of the topic taught. And Nididhyasana. Nididhyasana is that is the stage. Okay, now first the student has understood it, student thought over it and deeply understood it, and the next point he has to see where the knowledge deepens, realizing and arise. The knowledge derived or built from the first two stages is internalized here so that it is living reality. The learning is applied and practiced. Without doubts cleared, students move to experience. And now, this in the third stage, what the student will do, he will assimilate the knowledge, what he has. And then it is a solo. There is no teacher in the third part. In the first two parts, it is with the guidance of the teacher. The third part, it is the student itself. Only it is a solo. So the student thinks about the learning, understands the learning, think about the learning, and further understand the learning, and see that where can be it applied. One thing. And second thing is that how much I have heard from the teacher is actually true, or anything else needs to be studied, or is it having any excess of information. So all these things, and finally how I can concentrate on that knowledge and apply that knowledge and go ahead. That is the nididhyasana. So okay, so that concentration, it is not just shravana and manana, or just listening and pondering over it is not the way, but again thinking deeply and understanding and usage of that one. That is what is the ancient method of teaching. Okay, now say coming into the new what is a pedagogy means. It is a cultural process to bring out all the innate abilities and nourish the acquired abilities of a child through a systematic and planned manner. Okay. Now it has got, as I told earlier, then again in coming in the multiple intelligence theory also. So it is not teaching, see something logic and then or something science or something the economics, something. It is much more than that. It has have the dimensions of psychopedagogy, cultural pedagogy, group pedagogy, and development pedagogy. Now, even in Indian education system, it is being understood that there are different ways. Not only it is see just see sort of a teaching and in the classroom and going out. There should be a development pedagogy or group pedagogy. How the student will behave in the society, how he is acquired the cultural the cultural dimensions, how he should interact in a society, how he should interact in a group, what are his civic duties, okay, what is actually his mind developed into. So all these things, so what is a psychological thing. So it is a lot of, it is a wholesome, it is a complete understanding. That is where the Indian tradition comes up. Like Vidhi, I told you, it is making or preparing the student into a terminal behavior, into a see. It should be a wholesome. It is a wholesome approach rather than see. I'm teaching physics or I'm teaching maths. I'm not bothered about whether he have social anthropology or the cultural anthropology. I should teach to them. There the our ancient system says that he should be knowing, the teacher should be knowing everything. The teacher should know the cultural angle, the social angle, and it should be a complete development. So the teacher cannot be just like a subject matter expert. He should be a psychological as a understanding the psychology of the student, understanding the different anthropological background of the student. So many things. It is not just simply teaching. He should be a teacher with a multi-dimensional approach. Okay, now I will be going into multiple intelligence theory. Okay, this is by Howard Gardner. Okay, anything that is worth teaching can be presented in many different ways. These multiple ways can make use of our multiple intelligence. See, again, this is coming back to our say theory of that the different dimensions or different energies what a person is having, and how it can be see used for a wholesome perfect individual, to make somebody wholesome perfect individual. So the it has got a, yeah, I'm coming into it. See, first he is describing about a visual or spatial energy, the ability to imagine and form pictures. So now, see, recently in India, see such a see you can see in the picture that a tiger walking into a class. Of course, the tiger is not walking into a class, of course. So it is a hologram or a three-dimensional model of tiger entering and walking into the class in between the students. See, that is one of the approach. See, if say you say tiger to the class, then a tiger starts walking, knocking the door and entering the class. Think of that. How it will be, how the students will be see enjoyed to see that. How the students will be welcome. There is an elephant. If you say a helicopter, you say a helicopter is hovering overhead. It is not a pipe dream. It is actually happening in India, and it is being done in some of the classes, some of the colleges, schools and colleges. See, if you say, and this is not only application is just a tiger walking into the class. It has got different approaches. Like a human body for a medical student, a human body walks into class and he takes out his liver and explains that what is the liver. Okay, or he takes out his heart and showing it to the medical student and explaining. And this is not, again, this is the actual scenario what is happening today. So the students will get the exact idea. In whole life, a medical student, see, as a student life, he will not be able to see a heart at all unless a body is dissected and a heart is taken out. And that will be very rare. But here, you talk about heart, the class about heart. See, all this the all parts of the heart is coming out and standing in front and opening up itself one by one. This is the ventricle, this is the auricle, this is the blood circulation, this is the blood being purified. Or talk about lungs, how smoke affects the lungs, so many things. See, these are all now possible because of our media, because of this one. So this is already being applicable in colleges and schools in the education field. See, that will make a visual. This is I was talking about a visual and spatial energy. So that is what happening in now in India, and of course in the modern Western countries, in any country for that matter. So describing the picture, usual visual images for the teaching of vocabulary, video exercises, multimedia projects using charts, maps, graphic analysis and concepts. And the linguistic intelligence. And this is one of the very, very important aspect. Okay, it is having a storytelling, writing a short poem or debates, group discussions, gap fills, conducting interviews, and etc. See, you can see that a Sinbad's story being told. See, you can put into that chemistry, you can put into that physics, or you can put it into biology, anything. Well, when it is a storytelling, so this storytelling, these attracts a student. The student will not think that okay, tomorrow also I want to hear a new story. I want to see a dance tomorrow. I want to see a music. So they will be interested to go to classes the next day, and their mind's blockage will go. They will be open to the knowledge, open to the information, open to the teaching. So their mind develops in a multi-dimensional way. There is where the dance and music comes into picture. Okay. Now, this is the musical intelligence. Of course, the Mozart effect. There is something called the Mozart effect, and which has been proved by a particular paper or something was written. In that one, it is proved that who who listen to Mozart music has developed at least a temporary advantage over the other students, memory advantage and others. Means, for example, if you actually put it into practice, say for during the your teaching, you play a very very low music on off something, okay, and again when the student are going for writing the exam, you play the same music. The student will be able to recover or remember every the thing teacher told under that particular atmosphere, sort of that. I'm not telling exactly that one that is, but that is the sort of that. So you imagine that is the application of that. See, in science or anywhere, See, if you put a quadratic equation or a very see some sort of a very you could say a rocket science into their brain by developed by some sort of a music, whether it is in the musical form or whether it is with a very low music playing in the background. Same music, whenever they are applying that theory or applying that in the practically, do the same music, play the same music, and then they will be able to see rewind the whole of information back. Think of that. That is what is now on the musical intelligence. I will show you some slides also how it is being done. Okay, in the coming this one, playing songs, musical group activities, singing or song or type of that, and then logical and mathematics intelligence. Of course, this everybody this is the prime focus of now. Concept mapping, flow chart, sequence events, chronological order, world order activities, jigsaw puzzles. See how your mind is digitalizing or capitalizing the logical information and put that into a structural form in your brain. That is this logical and mathematical intelligence. And then something called bodily and kinesthetic intelligence. That is movement. Using a part of the entire body in solving problem, using a part or the entire body in solving a problem, performing a task, activities, planning, attending field trip, role plays, dancing, building models or grammar or grammar games. See, these are the things which is being now being, that is what dance and music pedagogy is. Okay, so you are see you can remember easily when your friends are in a state of motion rather than sitting idle. Means you will be able to involve. It is a group behavior or a group psychology. You want to involve and you are anxious what is coming next, and you are listening to them and you are involving in it. So these are, so that is what Aristotle and Plato has told, that see gymnastics and music and dance, of course, will go well into education. So these, rather than sitting in a classroom straight up and disciplined and with and afraid of the teacher carrying a stick, that is not the form of education anybody wants or anybody needs. So the children should be open up. The children's mind should be open up to educate, to receive the information across. The last one is a naturalistic intelligence. See, where our ancient tradition, of course, they have used it, or maybe even maybe in Tagore might have used it in, see, Vidyanigara, where it is, see, it is going into the nature and understanding the things. Ask the students to at least to go into the near, see his own house and see the plants, putting in a herbarium or collecting see all on different flowers and understanding it. What is the see what is the structure of see pollination or etc. So things are going across and finding out different species of animals and finding out that see what is their habitat and how they behave. See how they be do see different activities of them, like rearing their food, their all this. So finding out, shopping in other fields of stop and collecting plans to learn appropriate vocabulary, field trips to museum, involvement on environmental projects. See, it is the naturalistic intelligence. And then you have got the interpersonal intelligence. Interpersonal intelligence is empathizing with others, conducting a meeting, group work, practice, giving, receiving feedback, surveys and plans, group brainstorming. The interpersonal intelligence will make the students to interact with others, to interact in a group, to interact in a society, and the civic duties, and the sharing, and sort of a lot of other things. So how to behave in a society with a group of people and be pleasing to all of them. So you will acquire a interpersonal skill. That is one of the, again, that is one of the multi-dimensional skills. The now the intrapersonal intelligence, the ability to self introspect about our abilities, emotions, feelings, and appreciate ourselves. writing a journal entries, activities involving self-reflection, sharing personal experience, assessing one's work, sitting, setting up, and pursuing. So this is something called we called it earlier that Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana. A Nididhyasana is nothing but this is intrapersonal intelligence, assimilating the knowledge to himself, to understand to it by himself, how to improve his lifestyle by assimilating this knowledge, and he to understand that where this knowledge should be used, how I can be or the student can reach up to a different level, not only in the learning level but reach up to a spiritual level using this assimilated information. So these all will have been in our ancient tradition, but also rediscovered now by Westerners or the others. In their culture also it was there, but the current generation is taking out the old tradition and understanding the teaching in a better way. See, now another thing called existential intelligence. Again, this I'll go back to the same thing. Guru Madhya Sthidam Vishwam, Vishwamadhya Sthido Guru. Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama. Means, see, the understanding of what is existential intelligence can be defined as the ability to be sensitive to or have the capacity for conceptualizing or tackling deeper or larger questions about human existence, such as the meaning of life, why we are born, why do we die, what is consciousness, or how did we get here. See, this is one of the intelligence. This is again it is covered under Nididhyasana in our old sort of tradition, old school of thought, because it is again our sensitivity to our existence, asking questions about our life, and it is a sort of a metaphysics or spiritual approach of the knowledge, what you have already you have acquired. It means this is called a meditation to find and imbibe to those knowledge to improvement of our lifestyle in a spiritual way, not in the material world. Okay, it is taught that see you acquire the skill and then see thinking of it in applied to become okay. That is of what is your aim in life. If your aim in life, if it is money or if it is a spiritual or if it is finally it should be sort of a spiritual thing. So up to that level you should carry out the assimilated information which you have. So these are the different intelligences what this multiple intelligence theory puts across. If you go through or develop or parallelly develop all this intelligence in while you are learning, you will be a perfect man. And the final product of this will be a perfect person. Also, another thing is the ergonomics. Okay, the furniture like table demonstrations, there should be airy and there should not be. See, nowadays, because schools and colleges or the education institution has increased many number of times, what happens is that there will be AC rooms, the no ventilation, or there will be closed chambers like a concentration camp where the students will be kept on. In one of the engineering and educational, I mean MBBS coaching center, which I have seen, the people were sitting. They have to have a discipline of coming into on some speculated time, maybe 5:30 or something. All should sit in a chair upright, and they should read and study there itself. So starting, I mean, they should see maybe it may be manana or repetition of what they should, and then they will be given a sort of multi-dimensional, multi choice question papers, A, B, C, D, and how fast they can do, so that they can. They need not learn. It is only a practice of how you can write A, B, C, D faster than anybody else. See, understanding, of course, understanding a specified number of questions and the choices and putting up across A, B, C, D, or as a whatever it is. So whether that education will make you a multi-dimensional and perfect human being, or make you see your interpersonal and personal intelligence and all that will be attended to, that you have to see. Okay, anyway, this is ergonomics is another part which is playing in that one. So the chairs facing are nearly arranged with the sufficient spaces between for ease of movement, displaying shelf, displaying shelves for safekeeping, project collections, outstanding. So all these things will come into picture. The ergonomics also a very very important thing, because unless the ergonomics improve, the student will not be able to neither enter into the class, or maybe have an interest into enter into the class, or sitting in the class for quite long periods, because they are spending at least 8 hours in the same classroom or maybe on the same seat. So unless the ergonomics plays a very very important part, because you the major lifetime, 1/3 of his lifetime, I mean at least during the student time, he will be spending on sitting on a single bench or single sort of chair, and that if that place is not comfortable, he will not be see. I don't know how he will be able to comprehend it. Okay, so these are the things what the method or the pedagogy should see. Okay, now the next is coming that dance and pedagogy, music and pedagogy, and what is the status? Okay, I talked about all these things. Okay, whether these are all just as a see, I am saying all these things, but whether it is in practice, whether it is practical, whether it is possible that you see you put a music in teaching chemistry or teaching a medicine, is it possible? Or whether it is actually what he is telling is that okay, these are all the old days, what this fellow tells is all right, because that time it was only spiritual, or maybe the science was definitely science was there, and so all the science was brought in the musical form, musical rhythms, meteors, meeting of the meteors and meeting in a rhythmatic style. But of course the people that time they will say that okay, the things should have been better, but now the music and all that, who will listen to music in science making chemistry? You are wrong, sir. You are wrong. Because it is in practice. That is what I will show some slides from. Say it is from YouTube I have captured, but definitely it is interesting. See, one of this is example you can find out from this Harper by Molecular Eye. See what they say. See,
a simple element formed out of atoms of the one kind. Come on, and meet the elements. Check out the ones that call the elements.
so now you understood. I just given this. I just referred as an example. There is music. There is periodic table in the form of music being introduced in the college. Music and dance pedagogy is a reality, is future. That is the future of education. Not the mobile or the app is not the future of education. The future of education is this, the music and dance in the pedagogy. See another example.
Shorter added moving to the right. Iron is the 26 nickel points you get at copper, zinc, gallium, germanium, and arsenic, selenium, and bromine. Will krypton helps line up your room.
Now, do you think that only chemistry, or maybe it is okay? There are some elements. It is like ABCD. You can always put it into music. See the complex myofibrils in the medicine field, how it has been in the pedagogy. Okay, now you have seen that chemistry and medicine can be taught with music pedagogy or with music. See, now the people will, of course, listen to music, understand the music, and then they can assimilate the music much easily than the prose or maybe the some talks. Okay, now you see that this is being in a geometry class. The angles, how the angles are formed. So how the dance is being performed. See, what is a corresponding angle, or what is the acute angle? Okay, and what is this is a further advanced one. How the center of gravity plays. See how these are all being in the dance and music. If you can, it is being already being taught. That is the status. Okay, it is not a future. It is the future, but it is there. Of course, here now, here it is. So this is not a thing of talk of something on the mind. This is being practiced and can be practiced and should be practiced. The dance and music pedagogy. Okay, now it is no. Of course, there are challenges. See, for example, I have taken the example of India. So India, there are the students will come from different areas with a different sort of. They will be seeing Satariya in Assam, or Odissi in Odisha, or Mohiniyattam in Kerala, or Kuchipudi in AP, Kathakali in Kerala, or Kathak in UP, Bharatanatyam in TN. So how to assimilate the dance pedagogy into the class? See, any city, metropolitan city, you will find that people from different cultures or different cultures. There will be somebody from Kerala, somebody from UP, somebody from Manipuri, or somebody from Assam. So how you can assimilate this dance pedagogy into the class? It is a sort of a challenge. So that is what the teacher or the teaching methods or the counselors, education counselors should come up with, that how this can be introduced into this. Of course, it can be introduced, all this can be introduced in different time period, because there should be, that will also improve the students' cultural intelligence. Okay, but anyway, definitely this Bharatanatyam and this is one of the basic challenge of dance pedagogy is also music pedagogy. If somebody listens to Carnatic music, somebody listen to Tansen, or somebody listen to pop music or rock music or tap music. So how you will assimilate it? Because the person who loves rock music may not be loving the Carnatic music. So how this music pedagogy can be integrated into the education? That is a challenge still going on. Okay, now Indian government initiative. See, this is the Indian government 21st century skills by CBSE. So it has identified the media literacy and all type of this intelligence has been identified. And these skills like critical thinking, communication, collaboration, creativity, little skills. So the Indian government is aware and taking positive steps to increase the education or imparting the education or disrupting the current education. Of course, that plays a very important part. They have understood and they are taking the major decisions to this effect. See, this is what national education policy says about NEP in the teacher perspective. So it tells education should have less content, critical thinking, solve problems, creative, innovative, novel, and pedagogy should be experimental, discovery oriented. See, it is looked into all the aspects what I have already told in the ancient and then the new. Okay, and also it understood that the teachers are human beings after all. So how what the teacher, whether it is a Anganwadi teacher, higher class teacher, or a counselor, there is something we should do for them. So this is what in this field, what are the improvements that they are going to do, like lesser transfers, more number of home posting, and etc. A lot of other things. Okay, so also the some points, one or two points, I will be focusing on this. One is enhanced focus on India. Okay, like Charagasa and Shishruda, like all the ancient texts of Ayurveda, Aryabhatta and Bhaskaracharya, the astronomy and mathematics, Chanakya, Madhava, Patanjali, Panini, Tiruvallar, all these ancient traditions are being revisited, rediscovered as the pearls and coming in. Okay, and also the fact that India is a country of diversity and how they can bring the diversity, unity in diversity That is the another point. How the diversity of Indian culture can be imbibed in the student. That is the point. Also, they are pondering about. Okay. Now I'll just close my speech with a little bit on Indus Academy. See, Indus Academy, I have given me lectures on many things. One of the topic is food analysis, need for speed and precision, and foodomics. Okay. Another one is food quality management, the chosen one to control the death eaters. Okay. This is one of the classes I was taking. Of course, I am taking with a sort of a visual and spatial intelligence. Of course, see, there is movement because the basic intention is that I will show. I am showing is that the whole world is in the movement. The whole world is in the movement, even from the micro level to macro level. So the dance and music pedagogy should be there to as used as a pedagogy to understand the music, the movement, the dynamic equilibrium of the knowledge. Okay. So this is another one of my say Indus Academy, the other staff doing a storytelling, of course, the storytelling to the students, okay, in action, and of course in reaction. Okay, this is in one of the Vimala College they have done in Thrissur, one of my colleague in the Indus Academy. That is all, and thanks. So, any question or any answer questions? Any answers questions?
Thank you so much, sir, for that very overwhelming and exhaustive presentation on music and arts and how they can be used, how they can be integrated in our pedagogies. I think since we are a teacher training institute, so I would have one question before we conclude: is how can we train our teachers to, adopt music and art? Because since they've been so used to the normal chalk and talk method of teaching. Some would say that this is another task in their pile. So how would you frame teacher training around this concept to help teachers integrate music and art in the curriculum for students?
See, we are our main focus in Indus Academy is that, see, what we are doing is that the ancient traditions of music, the music is being personally taught by our people. Our people means, see, like for my colleague which I have shown there. So she is a Kalatalagam, or she had in one of the in their dance and art forms. So these arts, paintings, and the dance forms, the chemistry or the important matters and the difficult matters are being represented in music and being represented into the students in person.
Okay.
So this can be trained to the teachers who is having a sort of a cultural aptitude or cultural background.
Absolutely. That's why we can, help music and art be a part of our lives,
Yes.
and also the life of students through our curriculum. That's a very wonderful thought. Once again, thank you so much, sir, for joining us this evening. And I think before we conclude, do you have any parting thoughts for our audience, our teachers, parents, and educators, maybe?
Yeah. Only thing is that see, the future is in dance and music education, because that is the universal sort of background or universal sort of the basics of education. That is why our god or goddesses is on dance and music only, education god or education goddesses. So this then the another way of looking at it is the science is in motion. All the atoms, subatomic particles, everything is in motion. So once we have that motion and this golden ratio principles into our education system, so they can reach up to a level of perfection. So what I can say that you have any of the teachers, we can always do the teachers training either on person or by visual modes to say and introduce our own story. The dance and music curricula, in the curricula itself we can introduce and tell about the science or arts or anywhere. That's all I can tell. That's
Absolutely. Thank you so much, sir, once again for extending that kind invitation to train our teachers as well. That's a very wonderful thought and invitation from your end. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and for taking us through music, arts and dance as something that can be integrated in the curriculum. That's a very wonderful and very unique thought, I think, for all our educators and the audience that's watching right now and anyone who will watch after this. Once again, thank you so much
Thank you.
for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Thank
Okay,
you, sir.
thanks.
Thank you, sir. Hope
Yeah,
to see you again. Thank you.
sure. Yeah, sure.